At VDHM 2025, I ran a 134 half marathon, about 18 minutes faster than my first competitive half marathon, which I ran 1.5 years ago. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Vedanta. In this video, I am going to debrief my best half marathon so far and what worked well, what did not, and why it matters. I'll show you the data, the training volume, and the decisions that led to this 18 minutes improvement. So let's decode the run. As you can see, this is my first competitive half marathon, which I finished on January 7, 2024, and I finished it within 1 hour 51 minutes 22 seconds. And moving back to the VDHM 2025, I finished it in 1 hour 34 minutes 28 seconds, which was held on October 12, 2025. So this is the difference. There was actually a little bit extra. So if you consider the half marathon distance, it was actually 1 hour 33 minutes 29 seconds. This improvement did not come from just one race. It came over time. For many months, my average was around 60 kilometers per week. Consistency was the base. As I was at beginner level, any run could make me faster. But I was little bit injury prone, so this year I decided to go with only base building. Now, if we look at the running volume for the year 2025, we can easily spot that there is a pattern starting from January till September. There is a slow progression each month, and in October I had the race. So I intentionally kept most of the runs in this year slow aerobic run in zone 2. And if you see, the max heart rate also did not cross a lot, so it is always around 165 to 170 in most of the time. Also, if we look at the weekly volume, we can spot that most of the weeks were consistent and within a range of 60 to 40 kilometers. Now let's see how this volume and consistency translated into fitness. In Strava, this graph talks about fitness and freshness. Fitness being the orange line and freshness being the greenish line. So you can see I started low below 50, and then slowly but gradually that orange line goes up and it touches 75 when my training volume was the highest and I was at my peak of training in the year 2025. The green line you see had a zigzag pattern, random pattern, and ultimately it started going up when I started tapering for the race in October. Along with maintaining consistent running volume, I was focused on staying injury free. Strength training was a regular part of my routine, and I kept cycling in the plan as low impact aerobic workout. I also adjusted intensity based on recovery. This helped me absorb the mileage, stay consistent over many months, and avoid setbacks. But still, this training was not error free. I ignored some niggles and pushed the gym harder than needed, and that showed up later in the recovery phase. I will explain these in my TMM 2026 debrief. But for now, let's only concentrate on VDHM 2025 and see what has happened during tapering week. The first tapering week, I cut down the volume by almost 60% from 73 to 24, and in the next tapering week I had only 6 kilometers run and then a little bit of walking, which I did not record here, and on the second week I had the race. Along with that, I also respected the standard practices regarding sleep pattern, food habits, and stretching during the tapering weeks. As a result, I was ready for the race on the race day, and it really worked out well. Also, the weather supported me in the race, and if you look at the pacing, you will see there is a consistent pacing across all the kilometers except this one, which I will talk about in a bit. But then if you look at the overall HR, I crossed the threshold in the third and fourth kilometer, and then I continued to stay there 180 plus 180 to 183 for the most of the runs, and then finally pushed a little bit towards the end. I was pretty happy with the result which I got from this race. Also, I think this story will be incomplete if I don't talk about the mindset that I had in the morning. So, during the run and before the run, my mind was really calm surprisingly, and I was only focusing on running, nothing else, not even taking pictures till kilometer 15-16. So, that itself helped me to cut down my HR by 3 to 5 beats per minute. At the beginning, I started a little bit conservatively. I started with a pacing that I can hold for long, and that has also paid me off during the end of the race. If I talk about the only mistake that I have committed during the race is not taking water at all. So I was focused in my race so much that I ignored taking water during the race at a regular intervals. But I was consuming gels in regular intervals. I had 2 gels, and after my second gel at kilometer 16, my stomach cramped because of less of water, and I had to stop for 25 to 30 seconds at kilometer 17 because it was really hard to run. But then I again restarted and tried to catch up. To summarize, these are the top things that has helped me to achieve my goal: consistency over long period of time, strengthening plus cycling to support durability, having discipline during the tapering weeks, and executing the race with a calm mind. That's how I executed VDHM 2025, and that's it for today. I will see you in the next episode of Virajology. Until then, take care.